Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in and checking out the channel. If you're on the go, in the car, thanks for making me part of the ride. I'm Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. This is my sports channel. Boy, that was some statement from the Ohio State Buckeyes. If anybody had any doubt about whether or not Ohio State can win a national championship, those doubts were put to rest with an absolute butt spanking of the number one team in the country. I will admit, I had my doubts about Ohio State. After seeing them lose to Michigan, I knew Ohio State was talented on both sides of the ball. I knew how dominant they were on defense, but I didn't think Ryan Day could lead them to win the big one. I was wrong. This team is solid. After what we witnessed in that Rose Bowl game last night, Ohio State might be the best, most complete team I've seen. They're clearly one of the best teams in the country. Easily the best roster in the country from a talent standpoint. Well, the Texas Longhorns may have something to say about that. It was a massacre. That was murder, she wrote, okay? The game was over before halftime. This was one of the worst ass whoopings I've ever seen. Ohio State 41-21. All Ohio State. The Buckeyes get the win at the Rose Bowl and will now face the Texas Longhorns. And let me just say this. Texas doesn't want that smoke. You don't want to see this team right now. They're a team you don't want to play. This is the last team anyone will want to face. And my goodness, did they smack them in the mouth. By the time that game was done, them dudes from Oregon left with bloody mouths, broken noses, busted lips, lacerations to the face, cuts, bumps, and bruises. This is what people mean when they say belt to the ass. That's what Ohio State did to Oregon. They put belt to that ass. I gotta give it up to everybody on Ohio State, particularly Jeremiah Smith. Man, ain't that boy special? Just send that man to the NFL. Forget eligibility. He's ready. I just know that right now. That was one of the best single individual performances I've seen from a player. Jeremiah Smith is not going to lose you any football games. He's going to win them. If you can get him the ball, and Will Howard put the ball in his hands, and he did the rest. If you can do that, then he's going to make something happen with the ball. And with him playing his best football at the end of what has been an unbelievable freshman season, Ohio State looks like the best team in college football. Can you believe what he did in this game? It was a great job on his part. This was a historic day for him. And let me tell you, Jeremiah Smith absolutely whooped that ass. And the thing is, Jeremiah Smith gave these dudes a friendly warning a week prior to the game. They were warned. He warned them. He said, I hope they don't run man coverage against him. Because don't run man coverage against me, because if you do, I'm going to cook you. And he cooked him. He did just that. I believe he had somewhere around 118 receiving yards, 4 catches, and a touchdown after 1 quarter played. He finished with a freshman record for receiving yards in a game that was held by Chris Carter, who once went for 172 yards in a game. My dude went for 187 yards against the number one team in the country. That boy is a bad man. Very few receivers are on his level. I think this team really could win it all. If they play like they did against Oregon with this defense, with Will Howard playing as well as he has played the past 2 weeks, and with Jeremiah Smith being locked in, and if the defense can shut it down, I don't know who can really challenge them. I don't know if there's any team remaining in the college football playoff that can stop Ohio State. That was as good of a first half as Ohio State has played in a long time, and they didn't let up. It's probably the best team in all of college football outside of the Texas Longhorns because they can put up points, they can put points on the board, and then their defense is lights out. They have a championship caliber defense. And I really thought they caused a lot of problems for Oregon. You know, it was hard to get that lasting image of Ohio State's game plan against Michigan out of my mind. But that wasn't the game plan coming into this game. They went back to dominating on that side of the ball. The question was asked, can Ohio State defense shut down Oregon? And Ohio State answered. They might be the best team. They might be the best there is. And they got the wins and numbers to show for it. No, Ohio State doesn't have an undefeated record. Oregon was unbeaten, though. No, Ohio State didn't have a Heisman finalist. Oregon did. Dillon Gabriel, arguably the nation's best quarterback, was named a Heisman finalist. He didn't win, but he was still acknowledged and invited to New York as a finalist. No, Ohio State doesn't have a Big Ten championship. Oregon did. And we all saw what happened. Ohio State eliminated Oregon, the conference champions, and proved they were the better team. My big take to this game is that they showed the world. Don't play around when it comes to Ohio State, because I can tell you I won't make that mistake again. I learned my lesson. I'm picking Ohio State the rest of the way. Yeah, I'm taking them boys the rest of the way. I'm not picking against them. I can't do it anymore. When you're playing lights out and have the team that you do, I have to say that was a solid performance overall from both sides of the ball. I think Ohio State's defense is the best in the nation and schemed up incredibly well. The defense was lights out. Caleb Downs is really good at football. Speaking of Downs, that Buckeyes secondary locked up the Ducks receiving core from the first play of the opening drive. I mean, what the hell can't this defense do? They got after Dillon Gabriel, who never really had time against that Ohio State front seven. That's what Gabriel was seeing nearly all game. All day, Ohio State was able to drop 7 in coverage because the front 4 were getting pressure. It was straight up bullying. And Gabriel was just overmatched against Ohio State. The whole day was tough for him. Not getting his throws out on time, not, getting his throws out, no zip on his passes, not making the right reads, dumping it down 5 yards behind the line to running backs or throwing dangerously into traffic. Credit goes to Ohio State defense. They made it tough for him, and for the first time really all season, Gabriel wasn't good enough to win Oregon a playoff game. I talked about Ohio State's smothering, tenacious defense before the game. So much depends on their defense, and when they play well, nobody has an answer for the Buckeyes. I mean, you want to talk about a top-notch defense that can get after the quarterback and disrupt an offense? It's Ohio State. Holding Oregon to negative 23 rushing yards is insane work. I still think Dillon Gabriel is better than Will Howard. I stand by that. I stay true to my word. But outside looking in, Ohio State was clearly the more talented, the more balanced, the more complete team. And it showed for the entirety of that game as they were in control for all 4 quarters. Shoot, by halftime, Ohio State had 390 total yards. Quarterback Will Howard threw for 269 yards over the first 30 minutes as he was 11 of 18 with 3 scores. Someone made a statement last night. I mean, come on, you guys. Did you have to do them boys like that? I mean, God. I mean, that was an ass whooping. Now, I'm seeing videos and memes today. That was brutal. It sucks to lose the way Oregon did. This one will sting for a while. Ohio State really got college football on lock right now. Time to kill some narratives. All of a sudden, I want to say nice things about this Ohio State team. I want them to forgive me for doubting them. I apologize. It was just like a beatdown for the ages that you couldn't help but to feel bad for Oregon. But now, at the same time, you can look at that Ohio State team and be like, okay, they're for real. They mean business. They mean serious business. And in a game that mattered, forget about the loss to Michigan. In a game of this magnitude, in a game where they felt they had to show everyone else that you should be scared of them, they indeed showed out and convinced a lot of people that they might be the best team in the country after all. And maybe a loss to Michigan was what they needed. It was a reality check. And it certainly woke them up. And it woke up the nation as well. All right, guys, I'm wrapping this up. It's, as always, fun chatting with you guys. It's always a pleasure to come on here, chat sports with you guys. If you guys like my content, please do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are following me on TikTok. I don't know how much longer that platform is going to be around, but let's make the best of it, right? You guys can follow me there for the time being. It is Thursday, January 2nd already. I hope you guys are having a great day. Hope your New Year's off to a great start. Happy New Year to you guys once again. It's 2025. I hope you guys do great things this year. I wish you guys the best. And thank you guys for coming around as always. But guys, I'm out of here now. We'll talk again soon. Take care.